Hello, I am here.
Okay, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
I think your voice will come across much more clear than mine. So the floor is yours. We're
Great.
waiting to hear what the insurance commissioner has to say.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all very, very much for inviting me to join you today. I am delighted to be here. I know that there have been many questions that have been brought up, particularly in regards to the regulation that the commissioner, went ahead and posted forward earlier in October. So I just kind of want to give you just a quick update of what is happening there, and then I am definitely available for questions, and will do my absolute best to answer all of your questions. So if it's okay with you, I would like to share my screen. And can you see that? Or not yet?
There you go.
You see it? Perfect. Okay. So I just, I know many of you we have met with individually or all the different groups. So I just want to just give you just a quick overview. As you know, the Department of Insurance and Insurance Commissioner Laura is absolutely working to protect consumers from fraud and abuse, and we regulate most lines of insurance and maintain insure solvency, so making sure that all of the insurance companies are able to pay out any claims that come out. And of course, we look at how they are working with consumers to make sure that any types of consumer complaints are resolved. And we, of course, prosecute and investigate and prosecute insurance fraud. But the one thing that we cannot do, that has always come up in almost every meeting that we have had, is that the commissioner cannot require or compel any insurance company from selling insurance. So just as a setting up the stage, that is the one thing that we cannot do. However, we do want to make absolutely sure that we work with everyone. And as you have been part of, many of you have been part of many of our conversations in the past, where we have met with, throughout the state, we've met with over 150,000 people in regards to these issues, and held over 875 virtual events in all 58 counties of the state, because we know that insurance and non-renewals and the issue of availability and affordability of insurance is not just a one area problem, but it's an entire statewide problem. So we continue to work on that. And so just wanted to just give you just a quick update on just the different types of things that we have done. We have made sure that coverage, expenses were covered for evacuations when people are asked to evacuate due to wildfires. We have made sure that extensions to additional living expenses have been taken care of, and that you all, when you do have any type of issue, that disclosures and coverage is met for upgraded building codes, which was not done previously. And through the one-year moratoriums that we have done on non-renewals for all of the different areas where we have had a fire, we have so far been able to protect about 4 million policyholders. And then we, of course, increased the non-renewal notice from 45 days to 75 days to make sure that people who are non-renewed do have the time to work on finding different insurance, and that they are able to shop and do that well. Then we have also continued to work on the FAIR plan. We know that there are many communities that do rely on the FAIR plan, so we have increased the coverage limits for the FAIR plan and continue to work on that to see what is needed right now. One of the biggest questions that we are getting is for HOAs, because many HOAs are, it's a commercial property, so it does not fit into a regular homeowner's insurance. And so they need a lot more coverage than the 8 million that we have available right now. So we are working with a FAIR Plan to try to find solutions to that, to make sure that that is available. So we have asked, as I'm sure many of you know, we have asked the FAIR Plan to also provide a full homeowners coverage policy, so that you don't have to purchase more than one policy when you are on the FAIR Plan, but rather that your entire policy is covered in one. We do have the FAIR Plan did sue the commissioner about that, so that because they do not want to be seen as competing for your business out with the different insurance companies. Do want to remind you that the FAIR Plan is not a state agency. It is not a state program, but rather it is a setup where all the insurance companies put money into the FAIR Plan so that you can purchase an insurance through there. However, the FAIR Plan is managed and governed by the insurance companies. So altogether, it is still the insurance companies are the ones that handle all details with the FAIR Plan. So we are, the commissioner held an investigatory hearing on July 13th, just to see what are the major issues that you as a consumer are going through, and what can we do to tackle that, because it is helping no one for us to be in litigation with the FAIR Plan in any way. So what we're trying to do is find ways to work with them to try to find solutions for everyone. So we continue to engage with them, the local county and state officials and consumer groups and businesses and the insurance industry as a whole, so that we can find solutions together, because we are responsible not for the consumer first and foremost, but we also need to make absolutely sure that the industry itself is a viable industry. And if you have any type of issue with your HOA, we are happy to review your policies with you and work with you and talk with the insurance company together with you, so we can be another set of support for you there. So all we would need is for your legal representative, your HOA legal representative, to contact us, the department, which is the 800 number is listed right there, or our website. And we are able then to, if you post there that you have a complaint and you would like to have some assistance there, our experts then are able to work with you, look at your policy, review it with you, and then bring in the insurance company to work with you on that together. As all of you I know are already aware, we have worked with all of the governor's agencies that work on wildfires to put together our Safer from Wildfires framework, which is very much so a very specific set of rules that we put together that insurance companies can look at and homeowners can look at and follow, so that they can make sure that we as a whole community are safer from wildfires. And then the expectation is that if we are safer, insurance companies have less risk, and then we have more availability of insurance, and you will be able to have the ability to then shop around, and insurance companies will then be able to compete for your businesses. So we are doing everything in our power to be able to help with that. So of course, as you know, there are very specific things on each one of these things. So we do Safer from Wildfires 1, 2, 3, and there is a list of every specific thing that we have worked with CAL FIRE, Cal OES, the Office of Planning and Research, the Public Utilities Commission, but it also included the insurance companies, because we did go to them and show them this and ask them to review this with us and see if this is something that can work, so that we can get better coverage and be safer as a whole. So along with the things that you can do for your home, of course, the immediate surroundings. I don't need to go through all of this, because all of you know all of this stuff already by heart. So, and of course, are working together as a community, making sure that we have define boundaries, and we are working to make sure that all of our communities, everyone within our community, is safer from wildfires. The idea behind all of this was very much so requiring insurance companies to take into account all of this work that you are doing and provide discounts to homeowners and businesses for hardening their homes and their businesses, making sure that you have that available. And then, of course, providing the homeowner the transparency about your wildfire risk score. In the past, when you asked insurance companies for your wildfire risk score, and they will give you one, you will say, what does that mean? Or how did you come about that? They would say that is proprietary information and no one could ask them about it. So now with this regulations that the Commissioner Lara was able to pass through, we are now going to be able to see what our wildfire risk scores are, and we will be able to appeal those risk scores. So if you receive something and you've done all this work, you will be able to come back and say, wait a minute, I've done this, and this, and this, and this. There is no reason why I should be in this area. Then they have to review it with you and try to figure out how do we make sure that that is taken into account. So we had our public hearing on April 13th. Regulations were approved October 14th, and now insurance companies have until April 12th of this year to submit all the plans on how they're going to incorporate these new regulations. So as you would guess, we do not have any of their stuff yet because they have until April 12th. So April 12th, we will get everybody's, I'm sure. But we have all of the insurance companies who will be reviewing how they're going to then put all this together, and then they will be able to do put together some discounts for insurers. So for homeowners, excuse me. So when we first got started in 2019 and we're putting all of this together, we only had about a little bit of companies doing this, and so now we have 2 out of 5 consumers that are eligible for discounts. But because of this regulation, we will have every insurance company will have to go through the regulations and be able to show us how they're going to incorporate this into their pricing. And so the Safer from Wildfires framework is supposed to get all of the insurance companies online. And so you can check our website, and there we will be able to show you which insurance companies already are doing this, because they saw the writing on the wall, so they're working on it. But we are going to make sure that every single insurance company is going to provide that for you. And we, of course, want to make sure that you all know that you can contact us and speak to someone directly who will be able to look at your particular issue, and we'll be able to work with you and help answer any type of question. If I don't answer your questions to your satisfaction today, you will be able to contact them, and they will also be able to work with you directly and help answer any questions there. But I know that there are a lot of other questions that you all have. I just wanted to make sure that I reviewed the overall work that we have been doing, and want to make myself available to answer any questions for you now. So
Okay,
fire away.
So Julia, can you, this is Bob speaking. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can.
So we have a question about the FAIR plan. The understanding is that the FAIR plan itself actually has no staff. I'm not quite sure how they work. I'm not involved with them. So the question is, if they have no staff and there's a catastrophic fire in Nevada County, how will the FAIR plan ensure that there's personnel that they're staffing to actually address our needs?
So that is a misnomer. The FAIR plan does have staff. What they have, maybe what you have heard or what they have said to folks out in the community is that maybe they don't have enough staff to cover everything or everyone, or that kind of thing. However, it is the FAIR plan is under the jurisdiction, like any other insurance company, under the jurisdiction of the Department of Insurance. And so when we had our hearing that we held last time, that was very specific to discuss what it is, what are the issues that we have been hearing from the community and what they need to work on. And so at this point, we are working with them because the issue of customer service was a big issue that we heard from folks, and so we made sure that that we are addressing that with them and and seeing what are they doing to improve that. And so they are supposed to be communicating with us constantly to make sure that they are putting steps in place to make sure that everything that that they are supposed to be doing is being done to the best of their ability. So we will make sure that we keep them accountable for that.
Another question is, if an insurance company does come out and inspect our home and creates a rating on our home, how will we see that rating? How will we be informed of that rating and the particulars in that rating?
So so right now, like I said, all insurance companies have until April 12th to turn in, how they're going to be incorporating all of the different areas of the regulation. So once they, every one of them will be turning all of that in, we will be reviewing that and making sure that they are, that what they are saying that they're going to do, that they are able to do it. And so we will be, and that's when, each one of them will have their own set of I don't want to say rules, but their own set of framework that they're going to be using to make sure that they are in compliance with the regulation. So once I can't really tell you exactly what it is because each one will have to turn in their own and give us the information directly.
So we have seen what your department has put out for what is expected of homeowners and how we should harden our homes and make our lots safer. Is it possible that insurance companies could come along and layer on top of that and affect our premiums or our insurance status?
So this was very much so, the framework that the department put together was a coalition of all of the organizations that work on wildfires. And so that, not only that, but then we also, during the time that we built that, we allowed the insurance companies to come in and work with us on this and actually have a say on what it is that we were requesting to make sure that what we were requesting was appropriate for what they were doing. So we will, so that was very specific to the regulation. And so now that the regulations are out, they are supposed to follow exactly how the regulation is done. If they do come in with something different or above and beyond, that's going to be every insurance company will have to figure out how they're going to do that. However, if they do that, then you can contact the department and we can work with you to follow up and find out what it is that they're doing. How is that appropriate, or is that not only is it appropriate, but is it legal first and foremost, and then from there is try to figure out, does this work, and then also work with you to see, okay, if this insurance company is doing something that is not going to help you here, then what can we do? What other options can we offer you so that you can look at the other types of insurance that are available, the other types of, the idea behind all of this is very much so that it's going to open up the market so that there is more competition. And at the end of the day, more competition is better for the consumer. So that's the expectation.
So, right. Kristen, I think she answered that when she said that April 22nd is the deadline for the insurance companies to come forth with how they're going to work with us. and how they're going to deal with transparency. And so it's not until are risk ratings available yet, Julia, from some insurance companies?
Not yet. Not as of, I think that if every one of them will have to be able to share that with us, because right now we need to look at how they're going to be doing it. So we need to have more detailed information to make sure that it's appropriate, that it's actuarially sound for the consumer as well. So we have a lot of, we have a lot to review once they bring that, they turn everything in. But at this point, you could still start, looking into all the different insurance companies and what they're doing and how they're doing it to see what can work with you. What we are telling folks is that right now is our time to work together as a community, make sure that our communities are safe. Are safer. So we, just making sure that all of the different things that we have lined up and in the regulation on your end that you are able to tackle, and then be able to when it's time for insurance companies then to come in and bring in the new their new sets of insurance products, then we'll be able to, you'll be able to take advantage of that. But so this is the time to do that at this point.
Ms. Flores, can you hear me?
Yes.
I just had a long meeting with our agent this morning. We're with Allstate, and he told us that our risk assessment is 8 on a scale of 10. So I suggest that people could call their insurance company and say, would you tell me what our risk assessment is? And if they say, well, we won't tell you, then they could say, well, if Allstate can tell their customers, why can't you tell me? And so we're 8 out of 10. We live behind, just for everybody listening, we live behind the Fowler Shopping Center off of Brunswick. So we're sort of close in, but there are a lot of trees in our. But we're 8 out of 10, yeah.
So the whole idea behind this is very much so for you to be able to work with your insurance agents and make sure that that you have all of the information that they need to be able to show what you are doing to make sure that your home is mitigated. I am reading on the lines on the chat, one, insurance companies fleeing California. I want to give you just, put your mind at ease in that sense, because California has the toughest consumer protections in the country. However, California is the largest insurance market in the entire country, and it is the 4th in the entire world. Insurance companies are going nowhere. Every time, every time you hear this from insurance companies, it's like, oh, we're going to stop, and we're going to flee. That's not true. They're not going anywhere because there's too much business to do in California for them to go anywhere. We have, out of the entire time that we have been, in office from 2019 to now, we had one small insurance company that went under during the fire over in Paradise. But that was a very small insurance company. That was a local insurance company. But other than that, all insurance companies are doing quite well. There is no reason for them to go. So when people say that, oh, insurance companies are leaving, or they come, or you hear from agents or brokers, or saying, oh, they're going to leave because the department is not allowing them to charge more money. It isn't that at all. It is actually, we are working with them to make sure that it is that they are able to pay their bills, so that what they're charging is fair for the consumer. But then we are also making absolutely sure that the consumer is able to, you're able to pay that, you know, the amount as well. So we are, you know, we're making sure that both are taken care of, that both will do well. So on that, I understand that many people have got to go to the FAIR plan. The FAIR plan is the insurance of last resort. The idea is for you to not have the FAIR plan more than you need to. So the that, you know, it's supposed to be just a stopgap, you know, while you find other insurance. So the expectation is that while we, you know, this last few years, the market has just, you know, been crazy because of all the different wildfires that we've had and all of this. And so the market is trying to, you know, in 2018, we had one of the biggest losses in history, and insurance companies do look at their books and what they're, you know, what they pay out through like the very recent past, not how much money they've made from you throughout the 30 years that you've had them, but rather just the money that they've paid out, you know, very fairly recently. So because of that, insurance rates have, you know, they've gone up, and they're trying to figure out, and they're trying to get rid of a lot of their risk. One of the biggest things that I try to tell people, we have in our website, we have, you know, different things that you can do to look at your insurance, to compare insurance and all of that, in like an insurance finder. And we have our top 10 tips. One of the biggest things that and if you don't hear anything from me throughout this entire thing, the one thing that I would like to just point out to you, and that I would like for you to remember, is that when you're looking for insurance, try not to look for insurance within your local communities. Because what happens is the insurance companies that are doing business in your local communities might be completely saturated with the risk that they have from your local communities. So if you go to, let's say, Los Angeles, call you know, one of the insurance companies in Los Angeles or San Diego, or, you know, Imperial Valley, something altogether different from your area, you might find that there is an insurance company that does not have so much risk in your area and will be willing to, you know, diversify their books. So they might be willing to sell insurance at that point from that end. So look at all the different options that you might have. And that is one of the biggest things that I have found when people have called me. You know, I have gotten many calls from people who have said, oh my gosh, I looked and I you know, had been with a FAIR plan, and it was just awful because the FAIR plan really wasn't set up to be your regular insurance. You know, so it was awful. But what can, you know, what can I do? And when they actually went and they did that, they found insurance in another area and were just ecstatic because they were able to actually get insurance that they could afford, that was appropriate for their needs. Now the department cannot tell you which insurance company is doing you know, is selling in this area or that area like that, that you can go look for, because we cannot send business to a particular insurance company in any way, shape, or form, like in that sense. But we do have our insurance finder. We have listings of all the insurance companies in our website, and you are welcome to make some calls in that sense and try to see what can work for you there.
So one of the questions we had, and I think you answered it, but I just want to restate it. The listener was concerned that California is now putting more requirements on the insurance companies with the outline that you created. We're monitoring their premiums, and they're wondering if this is causing any insurance companies to abandon California. But what I heard you say is we're simply too big a market for them to do that. And while they may grouse about it, they're not leaving California, and we're not seeing the insurance companies disappear.
Not at all.
I think they would.
Okay. You're correct.
But Another question that was asked was about CAL FIRE, and can a consumer talk directly with with the FAIR plan? Can a consumer talk directly with someone from the FAIR plan, or must they talk through a broker?
There should be a phone number of the FAIR plan that you can call and talk to them directly. If you are having trouble connecting with the FAIR plan, and if you would like to have assistance, you can contact us, our 800 number right there. And we are happy to make that call for you or with you, and we make absolutely sure that the FAIR plan is available to you. So you can give us a call. You can, if you don't want to talk to us, you can chat with us. There's a chat feature in our website. We can certainly help that way as well. But if you are having trouble with the FAIR plan, if you're having trouble with any of your insurance companies, or you're not getting the answers that you need, give us a call. That's what we are there for. We have people there that are during business hours, 8 a.m. to 5. We have people there who are experts in insurance, who are able to, to get you and the insurance company on the phone at the same time and try to figure things out and try to get things ready for you. And so you will be able to get the assistance that you need, regardless of what the issue might be.
Okay, Kristen, what was the other question? So another question was, if the insurance companies have until April 22nd to respond to you, how fast will you turn that around? And when will we as consumers begin seeing something from our insurance companies about the new requirements?
So we have, because of Prop 103, we have the responsibility to make sure that we review everything that an insurance company submits and make sure that it makes sense actuarially, which means very basically that make sure that the numbers make sense, that you are supposed to receiving what you're supposed to, and that what they are saying that they're going to do is possible. And so we have to review each insurance company individually. Now, if there is an insurance company, you may know, every insurance company, whenever they want to raise rates, they all turn in paperwork to do that. When they do that, if it is below 6%, insurance companies will not, we're able to review that and make sure that what they're asking for is actuarially fair and it makes sense, that it's sound. Then we will accept that. The thing is that if it's above 7%, above 6%, then it goes into public scrutiny, so the public can ask questions, or why is it that they're doing this or that. So insurance companies are very scared of that. So many times they will just do the 6%, get the actual they will get approved, and then they will immediately apply for another 6%. And go that way over and over and over again. So the commissioner met with the insurance companies directly and said, okay, that makes no sense. We are being, what you're doing is just crazy. So what you need to do is review your books, figure out exactly what is the rate that you need, what is it that you're requesting, and then we can figure this out so that you don't just continue playing games with the public, but rather we just have everything right. So we have several companies who already have rates that they have submitted, that they're working with us on. And what has happened is that the insurance companies are saying, okay, we promise that we will write more if we have these, if we are able to increase prices here. However, we need to make sure that those are sound. So we are in the midst of all of that right now, as it is. And then after April 12th, when we get everybody else's in as well, or theirs as well, what we are making sure of, if it is very specific to this particular issue, and they turn in everything and everything makes absolute sense, we'll be able to turn it around really quickly because we'll be able to just review it, make sure it's actuarially sound, it makes sense, it's all set, then we will send it over. So then as soon as that happens, then you will hear. I can't give you very specific dates because we don't know which insurance companies already have everything in place. So some may be very simple, some may be very, very difficult because they might have a lot more that they are requesting in all of this. So it depends on the insurance company. We won't know anything until after April 12th. At that point, then we will be able to review and let you know and give you a little bit more of an idea as to how quickly those will be turning around. But at the end of the day, all insurance companies will have to submit new rating as well.
So there's another question about the insurance finder. And the question is, have these insurance companies been vetted by the commissioner? So, are they all members of the Better Business Bureau?
All of the insurance companies that do business in California that are in the admitted market are actuarially sound and have been and are part of the are able to do business in California because the Department of Insurance has reviewed their books and making sure that everything that they are doing is correct. So those companies that are there are okay. If there are companies that have had any issues, you are also able to look in the website for that as well, and we will be able to show you. But like I said, we are happy to get on the phone with you if you want to give us a call and talk about a particular insurance company and what in what you're seeing there. We're happy to to talk with you about that. We're happy to get the company on the line with you and try to make sure that all your questions are answered.
So is there any way that the insurance commissioner would know, or do you monitor insurance companies that are writing policies in our area? It's extremely frustrating for homeowners to begin making phone calls and getting one negative answer after another. And you wonder, is there anybody out there listening to me? So do you monitor the insurance companies that are writing in an area?
We monitor all insurance companies, period. So all of, we know what is happening with all of the insurance companies. I don't understand exactly what you mean in the sense of so if you can just try to help me understand what is it that
The question is specifically that some people have called insurance companies from out of the area, and as soon as they give them the zip code 95959, they all say, sorry, not writing there. And so the questions was more like, does the insurance commissioner's office monitor whether anybody is writing in a specific zip code? And so that you might know that nobody's writing in a specific zip code.
I know that we do have the insurance finder, but within that, it is very much so. We want to make sure that all of the insurance companies are able to provide the services that you need, right? And so we very much so monitor them and what they're doing. I don't know in particular. I don't know that there is a particular way that we can very much so say, what insurance companies are doing here or there that you can go to and get insurance, because then that kind of goes against the whole thing of us favoring one insurance company over another. There's a whole other set of rules that we can't really go against there. So that's why what we can offer is just the ability to review and look at what each of the insurance companies are able to do. If you want help, searching, you can certainly call us and we can help. We can help you search as well, and try to figure out how we can do that with you as we're there. As you're searching there too, but we can't tell you, what insurance company is. What insurance company you should go to, because it's it's unfair to other insurance companies. I know that sounds backwards, but unfortunately, that's the that's what we can't really do that.
So another question, we've seen it in the past, and so that it may not be happening now, but are the insurance companies going to be inspecting our property from a satellite? Are they going to use some artificial intelligence to do it? Or are they going to be sending live individuals out to look at our properties and make a determination?
Every insurance company is going to have to turn in their system as to how it is that they're going to do that. And so they will be able to disclose that with you. And the idea is very much so, some of them might be able to use drones or, whatever they use to check on all of these things. And the idea is very much so to be able to look at that and for you to then have access to that information so that you can dispute it. You can come in and say, this is not right, or this is, or I have done this, so this should count for something. So all of the insurance companies will have to turn in their systems as to how it is that they're going to do it, but it will be open and available to you so that you will be able to review that as well.
So if they did use Google Maps, where we were surveyed by a satellite 5 years ago, they would have to disclose that, and then we would be able to dispute it and ask for a rate review.
Absolutely. You will be able to, and if you have the ability to take your own pictures and show your own, then you will be able to do that as well. And then share that and say, we have the availability here.
So there's a few of the questions that people on Zoom have asked that are really individual questions. So we would ask that you call the insurance commissioner's office on the phone number that's on the screen rather than answering them now in the group.
Individual.
Let's see. Okay, is there any? You guys have been quiet. Are there any other questions? Oh, yes.
How many people are on staff with California Fair Plan?
I really can't tell you because I don't know. At this point, we don't have that. I don't have that information, but I can certainly call and find out. And I can share that information once we do. That hasn't been asked of us before.
Then I had a question. I don't know how many of the homes in our area were built before the new building codes went into effect. Mine was one of them. I can do most of what the insurance commissioner has suggested. Enclosing the soffits would be extremely difficult for me to do. So if I do everything else that is suggested, can I still expect a discount, but maybe not as much of a discount as if I enclose the soffits?
So on all of that, every insurance company is going to have their own ways of rating the different types of discounts that they'll be able to give. So it could be that they'll give you this type of discount or that type of discount. What we do not want to do is set a like a floor for them, because then of course you're going to go with the lowest amount of discount they can possibly give you, right? So what we're doing is leaving it open to them for them to figure out what it is and then give that to us, and we will check to make sure that it's actuarially sound. But every insurance company will have to do their own. So I suggest when the time comes, shop around. Insurance is just like, we joke about it, but it's truly, insurance is like your cable bill. When suddenly you get this big rate increase, you call the cable company and say, you know what, I'm going to go to satellite because this cable is way too expensive. Suddenly they can figure out how to figure something out to make it so that you can stay there with them. So it's the same type of thing with insurance. You got to look at all of the different things as well that you could see, what that they can make available for you. So that is that is the idea. And hopefully, and I know this is not happening fast enough. I know we want it to be done now, and want insurance companies to be able to provide insurance, and that and for all of us to be able to purchase it, and for it to be affordable. That is the absolute goal. And the thing is that we do have to go through a process, and the idea is very much so that this is going to open it up so that insurance companies will be able to compete for your business, and then we will get to another place. But right now, we're in the process of growing into that. So I want to just encourage you to keep at it. Keep doing the right thing, keep making yourself safer from wildfires, so that when insurance companies do come and they say, oh, well, we can't, do this, or we got to be so exorbitant, give you, exorbitant increases in premiums, you can very much so come in and say, no, this is what is available. This is what I have done. This is what my community has done. We are safe. And as we show that throughout your community, that this is what's happening, and that we are doing the best that we can, and that it is actually happening, that they are not going to be losing millions of dollars, but rather this is an investment for them as well. Then we're going to start seeing that this is going to level out and be able to be good for consumers again. We just need to make sure that we're doing our part, and we are doing, that you're doing your part, we're doing our part, and the insurance companies now need to come in and do their part as well to make sure that we bring this to something that we can all live with. So we are working on it. Know that we are available at the department. That right now this is difficult time, but we continue to work at it, and we expect that the work that we're doing is not going to come back empty, but that it is going to come back with good outcomes for all communities.
So my last question regards an editorial that was in our local newspaper, I think about a week, maybe 10 days ago. And the person who submitted the article said that there was something of a backlog at the commissioner's office to review rate plans. And I'm sure that's an unending process for you. And how's that going?
So rate plans are very much so. This is a really interesting thing that insurance companies like to say, right? Who can they point the finger at to say that, it's like, we're doing our part, they're not doing their part, like that's always going to be one thing or another. Understand that we are doing everything according to the way that it's supposed to be done. We're asking the right questions. We're making sure that everything is appropriate. When we have a backlog, when we have issues, has been because insurance companies do not turn in the information that they're supposed to. So then we have, every time that happens, we do requests for the specifics. We request for them to send us back information, and 99% of the time, it is the reason that it is taking longer is because the insurance companies are taking their time to turn in the information that they need to. But it is easier, and and we don't have a big marketing arm to go around and say like that exactly what is happening, but rather insurance companies are easy. It's easy for them to then just say it's the department is not doing its job, or the department is taking too long, the department is slow. But no, please know that we are doing everything the way that it's supposed to be done. We are asking the right questions. We're making absolutely sure that you as a consumer are protected. There are backlogs, and the backlogs that there are very specific because insurance companies have not turned in the
But you have them, yes.
requested. The backlogs that we have right now are for the rates that have been turned in that have nothing to do with the rates that we have for the Safer from Wildfire framework.
So the last
There
question.
are different insurance companies that are doing different, that are requesting different rates for different things, and everything that they turn into us, We make absolutely sure that it's in the same, that they're giving us the information that we need, that all of the insurance companies are actuarially sound, specifically with Prop 103 information. We want to make absolutely sure that everything that we do as a department is transparent and that the consumer is protected in every way. And so we are absolutely working on that.
So the last question on the chat here, if I understand it, is the individual wants to know who's writing plans, who's not writing plans, and who's dropping people. And that's, I'm not sure that the insurance commissioner's office monitors that, but the local brokers monitor that. And so that might be more a question that you would ask your local broker. They would know which insurance companies are dropping folks. So I think
we do receive information as to, just the different business that is open. You can look in our website and see how many policies have been written in your area, how many non-renewals have been from the last year, how many people are in a fair plan, how many, all of that kind of stuff. We do have a listing of that, and you can look at our website, and I can certainly send that information to you, so you can look at it. But you can certainly, our website has a lot of information that is available to all of you, so that you are able to review it and make sure that you have the appropriate information that you need to make the right decisions.
so your website would show a consumer who has recently written a policy in their zip code.
For the last year, we have the listing of all of the different policies that have been written and how many non-renewals for, and it goes by county. So we do have all of that information.
Is it listed by carrier?
It's by county. No, it's listed by how many in total we have. You can certainly call the department and ask if they can, if you can request that information, and we can find that.
Would the website tell us that Acme Insurance Company has dropped 10 households and added 5?
You can see, I don't know that the website goes into that much detail. It gives you general information on that. How many in total are in your county? How many non-renewals? I can certainly, if you would like to follow up with me, I can certainly work with you to try to figure out, what information we can share with you on that. So I welcome you to reach me.
Okay, so
I can put their, got the website up here.
yeah. So Julia, I will follow up with you on that issue. Kat, you have a question?
I have a question for Julia. Is my understanding correct? When an insurance company decides that they have too much risk in a certain area, that means that even if they have good customers for many years, they cannot renew that insurance because that's not fair across the board.
No, they are able to do so if they would like to. However, we cannot tell them if they should or they shouldn't.
Okay.
We are not able to do that at all. They will decide what that is. If they feel like it's too much, if it's too much of a risk for them, and they would like to, not sell insurance there, but maybe sell somewhere else, that's their prerogative. We are not allowed
Okay. My question though is they cannot even renew good customers that they've had for many years because they pulled out of that particular market.
if they don't want to. It's their prerogative.
Oh, okay, so we can misinform them.
They can or they can't. It's their prerogative, whatever they would like to do. It is not a definite.
Okay.
So it is their prerogative. Well, thank you all very, very much for having me. I am available to help direct you to anything that if you have any other questions. And I very much so want to make sure that that you can call the department and that we can help answer questions or help you, connect you with the insurance company and try to figure out, how to help you with your particular issue. You just need to, file a complaint with us, and we are definitely available to you and happy to see if we can help you in any way. So thank you for your time. I appreciate the invitation and look forward to continuing to work with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for taking time out of your day, Julia. We appreciate it very much. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.